Hey, it's Katie Trainer, muralist, magician, and former traveler, and I'm here to tell you how I went from being practically nearly a homeless traveler to being a professional mural artist full-time. So, magic. I started doing that when I was younger because I simply didn't have a lot of friends and found something that was kind of cool, but kind of also a little nerdy, but also I could figure out ways to manipulate objects, everyday objects, and kind of get a dramatic effect from it. And it was a way to sort of get prestige, or I guess acceptance, from my peers, because I didn't have a lot of that. And I'm still the performer mindset, although I haven't been performing because I've been painting for 3 years now, 4 years almost. So I went from doing magic, and I did it part-time, while also doing landscaping and helping to manage my family's restaurant and all this other stuff. So I went from doing that to then giving all my stuff away when I had a heartbreak. That was a great time. Gave all my stuff away up in Erie, and then loaded up my car and just started traveling. So that traveling led me to go down to Florida. That was 7 years ago, and I actually wrote a book about it. And I have way more to come, but it's about law of attraction and how I acquired specifics into my life. But it's called What Are the Chances? And it is available anywhere in the world pretty much at this point. But from there, I started traveling, and I experienced all these other cultures, all these other lifestyles, and these amazing things that just exist in America. And then I went out west a couple times back and forth. So over the course of 3 years, I just kind of mostly traveled or made money to travel. And I did magic on the road as a means of, making money, surviving, I guess, is a good way to word that. Just simply doing things that I'm not so good at it anymore, but all that type of stuff. I used to be way better. Anyway, a little more practice. I'm going to get back into it more. But I went out west, had a couple really scary experiences. Nothing super dangerous, but just life self-awareness, life awakening experiences that then guided me to Oregon, where I had been practicing yoga really intensely, and was in an online yoga certification, which was pretty much self-led. I just wanted to further my practice, not necessarily teach. I just wanted to become a better practice of yoga. So then I ended up in Oregon studying Reiki 1 and 2. I got that certification, which totally is a whole another story we can talk about later. Ended up studying with a Qigong guy who had studied with Montauk Chia for about 25 years. He was his video production person. So I ended up trading my time working on permaculture development and working on rocket stoves in his backyard, doing he called it an ecosphere, and it was this greenhouse made out of different shapes of metal that was all triangles, because he felt like triangles, I guess triangles are the strongest shape, strongest shape, I don't know. Anyway, all that's a different world. That's 5 years ago. Right now, 5 years ago, I was in Oregon. And so he traded Qigong, inner alchemy training with me. And so I learned a whole bunch of weird spiritual practices from other cultures, and then came back east from the west. I missed the west. Came back east and got really sick for Christmas. So I got sick. My whole life out west fell apart. I was here. I was pretty much in bed for almost an entire month. They couldn't figure out what was wrong with me. It was sort of like I had mono, but I already had mono 15, 20 years ago. So there's no way I had mono. But it's I was so sick for almost a whole month. I lost all this weight. My relationship ended. I ended up heartbroken. Lost all the weight again. Blah, blah, blah. And then this huge snowstorm hit. I found some kittens. You know how that goes. You can't find sick, bloody-nosed kittens. And so I raised these little kittens, or 3 of them. And anyway, my life took a complete like that. So the travel stopped, but I during this time had developed what I call a theoretical science meets art series. So I would take concepts of sacred geometry, and I would mix it with natural elements like plants and different art forms, and most of it was pen and paper, some pencil drawings, but I didn't use too much color. It's almost like I saw the world in only black and white at that point. So I had these do I have any here? Here. So I take this little thing and I put it up behind me on the street. So here's my little setup. I would set up on the street and perform, but I do it in my hometown. And I made some prints of some of my photography and stuff, but I made these prints and I put them out on the street with me. And I'm going to try to find that Fibonacci picture. There it is. All right. So this is the picture that changed my life. So I was studying, this is the Fibonacci seashell. I was studying all sorts of weird alternative education things. Like I said, like I'm fascinated by that stuff. And it's sort of like, the only way I can describe this is, I've never really told anybody this, but I sort of was drawing this Fibonacci shell, and I just started like going crazy, like just setting up like insane. And the only way I can say is like it drew itself. And so I kind of came to, and this is what was on my paper. And yeah, I took it outside and was like, what the heck is that thing? And like left it there, and this weird, it rained out of nowhere. So the paper got rained on and crinkled, and I'm like, no! Like, what? I knew it meant so much. So then this image right here, I set up and I'd like do magic tricks like, hey, blah, 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 passerbys, talk to me. I'm Katie Trainer. Let's do some magic. Also, I have prints for sale by donation. So I ended up all over Central PA doing that for the summer because I didn't know what I was doing with my life. I lost everything. Like, you know, I lost my love, I lost my home, I gave all my stuff away, I started traveling, thought I was onto something, got sick, and ended up back here, like homeless, worthless is what I felt. And so I was like, well, I'll just take it to the streets. That's what I did before. So this guy walks up to me and he's like, tell me about it, this piece. And I'm like, oh, well, this is my Fibonacci seashell. It's like the macro to the micro. And I talked about how I think it's so beautiful that like nature evolves in this pattern that's been identified by science. And it's like a fusion between like science and spirituality. So I found this to be the most beautiful piece. And he's like, I want you to do a mural. And I'm like, sure you do. Like, you know, I'm a magician. I'm used to hecklers all the time. Like, everybody like blowing steam all the time. Like, get out of here, guy. Okay, thanks, dude. Oh, you talked to me for 5 minutes about my piece and now you walked away? Huh, cool. Bye. You know, he comes by, he throws down this magazine. He's on the cover of it with his little white dog. Turns out he's in charge of developing a mural corridor in West Reading, and hired me to do my first mural, which was based upon that piece. It's called The Golden Ratio of Timelessness. It's on Cherry Street Mural Corridor in West Reading. And then the following year, I joined him on the cover of the magazine because he invited us, these are all the mural artists, that's me, that's Dean Rohrbach. He invited us all to join all the mural artists, well, not all of them, but some of the mural artists that were featured several times on the mural corridor. He invited us to join him to win the Townie Awards. So I went from the streets as a street performer to being an award-winning muralist in a year simply because of the opportunity arose from this image, and a person who had a belief in me. He saw more potential than just some person on the street doing magic tricks. No, so he this guy saw something in me, and he was a visionary. He is unfortunately no longer alive. He passed away from an aneurysm last year. But they've renamed the corridor after him. It's now called Dean's Way rather than Cherry Street Mural Corridor. It's still both, but you know what I mean. So it is in West Reading. That's where I got my start. Since then, I've done over 60 murals on my own. I've taught over 4,000 students in school districts. I don't have a degree, but I get hired by the school districts because I do a good job. So I guess what I have to say is, like, don't give up. Like, if things don't make sense, like, follow this calling. Like, that piece got rained on and it changed my life. Like, I still went and made prints of it. It looks like old parchment paper now. It's like all wrinkled and weird, stupid looking, but be confident in yourself always, because you never know where your life's gonna go. I feel like I don't even know what I right now. All my jobs just got canceled from coronavirus. I don't even know what I'm doing, you know? Like, life is crazy. You never have all the answers for anything, but if you keep yourself open, keep your heart open, keep your mind open, and follow that energetic calling, you never know where your life's going to take you. I mean, I'm getting tagged in newspapers that I don't even know I'm in all the time. Like, people are like, hey, you're in this newspaper. Hey, I saw you on TV. Hey, da 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 da. From all my paintings, and I don't see everything that I'm in and out. And like life is just this crazy roller coaster, and school teaches you that there's like a specific path that you have to take, and there's really not. Like, life has so many things. Like, you can do anything you want all the time. And people ask me about how I got my start doing murals. I did get my training from, Dean had been working with a guy named Mike Miller. Mike Miller should be on this. He had a meeting right before this picture was taken, but he should be there too. He was trained with the Philly Mural program, learned all of their techniques, and so I was trained by Mike. And so I wasn't trained by the Filling Mural program, but I was trained by people who were trained by the Filling Mural program. Therefore, it's sort of like, you know, I don't know, whatever. Anyway, Magic to Murals, that's how it went down. I applied for a TED Talk for it and did not make it, but one day I will make that. In the meantime, I'm just, you know, scraping on by, doing weird stuff all the time. Coronavirus still has all of my work canceled, but trying not to let the spirits get down, you know. I just did a yoga class again, trying to get excited about doing things and being involved in projects and I'm doing weird stuff like that. That was, oh wait, right there it is. That was me figuring out how to harness my powers from coronavirus. Like, what am I feeling about it? So, anyway, I hope that you found some inspiration in that. I get asked all the time about how I got my start, and I sincerely just ask the universe to guide me to something. So my specific intention was, I was completely like heartbroken, laying on the floor, like my life felt completely worthless. And suicide goes through their mind, not that I was going to make any actions towards that, but when you feel worthless, it's like, you know, like all your dreams had given up. And so when it gets to that point, I was saying to myself, I need to like put my energy into a higher power, or put my energy out into the universe or something. And I said, okay, like it was like this, universe, guide me, like take me to where my life's energy can have the best output, the best reaction. How can I change the world the most with this life energy that I have now? And almost immediately, a week later, that picture drew itself. Like I'd like to take credit for drawing it. I didn't. I honestly feel like I didn't. Like I just kind of was like, I paint like that sometimes too. That's why I'm not good at doing studio work. I'm good at painting big murals because I get into the zone and I'm like, and like there's some method to the madness, but it's all chaotic, but it's also organized chaos. So anyway, I hope that you find some inspiration in that, and kitty trainer murals, and pay attention to more videos coming out. Yeah, I have no idea what I'm doing, but stay optimistic, stay focused, and opportunities arise, and don't be afraid to step up even if it doesn't make sense. You know, I had no reason to be like applying to teach in school districts, and now I do that almost full time. So, I'm enrolled in free college right now, like continuing education courses on being an even better professional teacher. I don't know, life's weird and unravels. Pay attention for more, because I'm sure there's way more stories to come. And contact me about this, because I'd love to talk about it even if you don't buy it. Although I would like if you bought it.